Today I'd like to look at the First Order Flametrooper, the 6-inch figure from Hasbro's Black Series. I haven't done any 6-inch Black Series reviews recently, and the reason for that is simply that I haven't been able to find any. Well, it's not entirely true. I have been able to find quite a few of this guy, and I've found a lot of this guy. But if I want, anything new, there just hasn't been anything out there for me to buy. And I have some ordered online, but generally speaking, these are the kind of things that I kind of like to just pick up in the store when I'm out shopping. It's kind of a nice little treat to get a new figure, and I don't have to make an explicit order for it. And I do kind of enjoy the hunt of looking for these things, but not when it takes me weeks and weeks to find a new figure, and that's been the case recently. In any case, this was the only new figure that I've been able to find recently. I've been looking for Hux, I've been looking for, anything, really. So, when I saw this, I just had to get it just because, it was nice to find something new. We can look here at the box. It's the usual Black Series box. Not a whole lot to it. On the side, we see that this is number 16. And on the back, it says, First Order Flametrooper. Specialized stormtroopers of the First Order, Flametroopers carry incendiary weapons that can transform any battlefield into an infernal blaze. An infernal blaze. Yeah, so let's go ahead and open this sucker up and see what he looks like. So here he is out of the box, and this figure actually comes in 3 pieces, if you consider the figure itself to be one piece. He comes with this backpack, which is quite large and relatively detailed. It's got some parts on it here that are kind of rubbery. It fits onto his back with one peg, and then there's also a peg on his back that kind of also locks in, which should, I would think, be enough to keep it from spinning. But they've also added this kind of rubbery thing on the bottom, which I guess is meant for that to sit up against and maybe just sort of keep it in place better, but I don't know, it's a little strange. I don't know. And of course this has a tube that leads to the gun. The gun had a little ball jointed thing on it that fit into the tube. And I'll have to say I had a little trouble getting him to hold his gun at first, but I think I figured it out. I don't know if I've just stretched out the hand enough that it's okay now, but it was a little bit of a challenge getting it in there. Now, in terms of the aesthetics of this figure, I would say that this is by far my least favorite of the armor designs we've had so far. I mean, it's not terrible by any means, but just in terms of being a cool-looking armor design, I'm not really feeling it with this. It's for a couple of reasons. We have here on the helmet, it's just kind of a blank dome. It looks almost like a bald guy or something. I almost feel like he should have a comb over going over here. We've got this bib thing that kind of hangs down in front, and also these horizontal bands of armor. And the combination between the two really makes it look like he's got a bit of a pot belly. Which, again, maybe not the greatest look for an intimidating trooper. It is interesting, though, that they have made this quite a bit different than the normal trooper armor, which I will show you now. As you can see on the normal trooper, his armor is made in such a way that it almost looks like he's got muscles here. Like these sort of represent the pecs, and then he's got a 6-pack of abs down here, and he's got, this up here, and all this. I think it kind of combines to make him look a bit more, well, fit and intimidating than this guy over here. And in terms of the helmet as well, this slit in the helmet. I don't know. It almost seems like it's too small. I mean, I could see this being that kind of slit look to be intimidating, certainly, but not sure I'm feeling it. Now, we did get a sort of similar look with the Snowtrooper and Snowtrooper officer figure right there. And, you know, I do think, though, that having this back part makes it look a bit better than just nothing. Still, they have done quite a few things differently, which I appreciate. They have this thing on the thigh. They've got, actually the shape of all of the armor pieces is quite different on this trooper. So, in that sense, it's quite nice to have a different design, and it's not just some sort of lazy repack. Now, it might sound like I'm being a little hard on this figure, but in reality, all the things that I've been talking about are just really in the design of the original Flametrooper armor itself, and nothing to do with this particular figure. It's actually, I think, a pretty faithful representation of that armor. And, as a figure, it's quite good. And if you get it in a pose like this, sort of wide stance, like he's about to fire off some flame, I think he actually looks quite nice. If I had one complaint to make, it would be that I kind of wish they had included some kind of like a flame accessory that you could stick in the barrel of the gun. I think that would look really cool for this kind of figure. But even without that, I can't really complain too much. So here's a real quick rundown of all the troopers I have at the moment. We have the TIE Fighter pilot. We have a regular Stormtrooper officer that I've made by taking the pauldron from one of these snowtroopers and putting it on a regular Stormtrooper. We have the regular Stormtrooper, Flametrooper, Captain Phasma, Snowtrooper officer, regular Snowtrooper, which was made just by taking off the pauldron and putting it over here. And finally, we have the crowd control Stormtrooper, otherwise known as TR-8R, I guess. So, yeah, that's all I've got at the moment. It looks pretty cool, I have to say. Having them all together like this, I could probably arrange them better than they are, but I'm really, at the moment, on the lookout for a Hux. I think, having him next to Phasma, and I should probably put Kylo Ren in there too, of course, would make for a nice display. And I'm not sure what else I really need. That might about do it for me. Have you been able to find these figures recently? I'd be interested to know if you've had as bad a luck as I have. Some people, I'm sure probably Hux has made it to my area, but they seem to get snapped up really quickly, so I haven't had any luck finding him. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching.